Hey YouTubies, I want to talk about the comments that I've been getting. Now I've had a couple of these before, and quite honestly, it's just starting to get on my nerves. Without putting people's names, I'm just going to read some of these just briefly. Like one person wrote, Atlas invented astrology. I guess you think the Egyptians got astrology from the Greeks. That's rather backwards. If your proof of who invented astrology is any measure of your books, I can see why you aren't selling very much. If you had said Greek mythology, you would be closer, but using a myth to prove your point, not good. Okay, I don't even get what she meant about if you had said Greek mythology. And what this tells me is this person just came into one of my videos and just doesn't have a clue about the whole point of this channel, which is to tell the story of the Chronides and to expose Semitic religion and all religions and paganism as well, and to tell you that this family, the Chronides, is behind all of it. And I gave you copies throughout my videos, books, and blog articles of the pages of these books and where to find it after I did years of extensive research putting this these pieces of the puzzle together. And so what I see here is a problem, and the problem is the way people think. The fact that they don't do research, they don't read books. I've talked to other authors and other people, and I get the same information. People do not buy books. They don't read it. If they do buy a book, they may not even finish it. They may just leave it and come back to it some other day, or say to themselves, oh, I got to get back to reading that. Maybe they read half of it and that's it. It's highly unlikely they're going to buy a set of 12 books to get all of this, or go out and buy more books and do the kind of research I've done. Most people learn visually, and they want it spoon-fed, and they want to go into a movie theater for an hour and a half and get everything given to them, or they want it on a YouTube video in 3 minutes or less. And then they come on my channel and they insult me, and they have no clue about what they're talking about. Now, here's another person. This guy wrote, quote, offense meant, this is the first time I have ever seen your videos and can see why no one is buying your books. 1, you are condescending. 2, you are snarky, but most important, you are drab. Now, if my words have hurt your feelings, do a check on yourself, because this is exactly how you make others feel when you speak like you are the smartest cookie in the jar. No subscription or any other viewings here, end quote. Okay, so this person thought that I should be stupid and that I should talk like an ignoramus so that he can feel better about himself. How does that help anybody? If I was to come on here, and I already get enough people telling me, you didn't pronounce this word correctly. You know, the way you talk, you sound like you're falling down, or you sound like you're drunk, or we don't like this, we don't like the way this was said. Or I get the other idiots that tell me, you're a racist for talking about red-haired mummies. Or people that are just mental and fake about who they are and just come on my platform and try and hijack it with their crap and, you know, try and make it all about themselves. So I get that kind of a comment, because they're not listening to the material. They just come into one video, they have a chip on their shoulder, all they want to do is cut me down, insult me, talk about the way that I talk, if I'm too smart, if you're a smart woman that can't handle it, or a smart guy that can't handle it, whatever. And it's like, get off my channel. Go figure out your emotional problems, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach people about something I learned about that nobody has talked about that are interested. Now, the other thing I'm getting is this flat earth stuff. And I know some of my listeners, they believe that, okay? And I'm not going to make fun of you because you have a question about NASA photographs that are doctored. A lot of those are. I've seen some where they wrote the word sex in it, or they enhanced the photo. And you do have a legitimate beef to ask what the heck's going on with NASA and the moon landing and all of that with no stars in the background. So I get that. I get what you're saying, because I can see how many of these other things are problems, but I don't believe in flat earth. And just simply look at a lunar eclipse, because if the earth was flat, it would show me a flat earth on that eclipse. And there'll be people telling me, no, there's videos telling you why that's not the case. Well, I don't want to put my energy into that, because it takes away from what I'm trying to do, which is tell the story of these Cronides and to expose all religions. So as my channel grows, I'm getting more and more of these kind of people, and all that they're doing is coming in on one channel, coming in on one video on my channel, and that for some reason they have a chip on their shoulder, or they feel intimidated, or they're Jewish, or whatever they are, or and they don't like you rocking the boat of their belief system. And they don't go back and listen to all the rest of the stuff I've done, or look at my website, or buy a book, or go buy a book from these libraries I've talked about, or even look it up online to go figure it out. They will not put the effort in. They want to come on here and tell me that, the way that I speak offends them. You're too smart. You talk like you know everything. Or, no, you're not right. You can't say this. But they have nothing to prove it. They just tell me, no, it's not this. They have nothing on their channel. They have nothing. They never bothered to look through everything I've done. And I know that I've got a certain amount of people that do get what I'm saying. They get it. And they've got it. And maybe they don't need to do any more research. This is part of their journey. They take this information, and it helps them to be free mentally in life, whatever they do with it. But, I'm going from a smaller channel to a more medium-sized one, and I'm going to get more of this. So the question is, how do I get through to people so I don't have to deal with this? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I've tried to make things as simple as possible, but you're talking about over 500 books in a library and other libraries, and I've only touched on a certain percent of them, trying to condense that down into a 20-minute video or an hour video. And then they're upset because they think they know everything and they don't like me rocking the boat. But how do I get past that? And, I'm at this point where I'm like, I think it's just time to make a movie, because this is how the public absorbs information. And maybe not everything is spoon-fed to them, but it's done in a way that they say, oh, okay, she's talking about something. Maybe I'll do a little more research, and they'll go and find a summary, and that summary gets them on their journey, gets them started. So maybe there is a point to all of this esoteric symbolism and hidden messages in Hollywood. I definitely think they are. Whether they're just paying homage to themselves and allegiance to their cult, maybe that's it, but it still has piqued the interest of many in the public to ask further. So I'm kind of at the point where, I've done almost 300 videos on my YouTube channel, 12 books on the subject, hundreds of blog articles. I'm peaking out. There's always going to be some gems I could put a video together about to get to the point quickly. But I think at this point I have to put my energy into making a movie or several movies to get this message out. And then I'm going to have to do some kind of activism, legal type of work to make changes. But to get to that point, I've got to raise capital, and that's something I'm working on. I've got to put a team together of people that know how to work a camera and actors and so on. And that isn't easy, if not even possible for most people. But I think that's just the way it's going to have to go. It's going to have to be a provocative set of movies that I get out there. I will have to charge for viewing the movie, just like you go to the theater, and get that conversation started. And then I would go into phase 3, which would be the activism and some legal action. And that's about all I can do. At that point, I've done what I can to expose this truth. Look at all I did on the Lovelock Cave mummies, and I'm still not even done with that. That's just like moving a mountain to get those mummies' DNA tested. So, I am getting a little bit fried out with the trolls and the ignorant comments and the... I don't know. I get that's YouTube, but... just some of these people don't even care. They put their face, their name. They don't care. Or they hide behind an anonymous. And I go and I look at their channel. They have like hardly any subscribers. And it's just like, it's just them lurking. They're not really learning anything. They're just bugging people online. They think they're trapped in their own world and their own set of beliefs. And they're not open-minded. And they're not going to do the research. So that's just kind of my thoughts. What I want to say is if you have some thoughts, some suggestions about how do I get this information to people, drop a comment. Like I said, I don't speak really fast on my videos because that annoys people. I try not to go too slow because that annoys people. But I have to work with what I have. I'm not a multimillionaire. I don't have the power of Hollywood behind me. I don't have the power of a studio behind me. I'm independent. And so I have to work with what I have, what's been given to me. And that's just the way it is. And if you don't like it or you want to be a rude asshole, pardon my language, then you need to just move on. Because I don't have any more time or energy for your nonsense. Maybe you'll get it down the road and come back. I don't know, but as I said, I think it's time to move to the next phase of this calling in life, so to say. And that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of my energy. So for those who've been with me and who have enjoyed this, thank you. And you get it, good. You got it. You'll use the information to live your life in the way that you see fit, and maybe this helped you to be free. Good. But if I'm going to try and get to a larger population, it's going to have to be done in a different way than YouTube channel videos or blog articles. Even an online radio show. I've done that. That's a little harder. It's a little bit of a bump up from the YouTube channel because you can sit down and have a good discussion. And if you interview people, you can have a good discussion. That's something I may come back to down the road. But I think at this point I want to try and get some movies and documentaries made. But thanks again. That's where I'm at today.